Hi, my name is Peter Rivers. I'm 41. I'm from Minneapolis, Minnesota. My career background is that in 2001, I was driving a school bus and ended up needing some extra money and wanting to get out of that. So I became a server with TGI Fridays. Great company to work for. And after a while, I found out I did not want to go into management. I needed a change, but I was single and had been single for about 17 years, living in my own apartment for 13. And serving job was paying the bills. I had no debt. I didn't need anything from anybody, really. And then I got picked up by one of my guests, and that's what brought me to needing something more. And I was still serving, and I was managing when they needed me to manage, but I also didn't want to deal with the corporate aspect of the Fridays mentality and the Fridays lifestyle. In my job searches, WAN Professional's website kept popping up on Beyond.com, on Indeed.com, everywhere.com. WAN Professional popped up. And so I ended up sending an email application, I believe it was, in the middle of December. And I didn't expect much back because the holidays were coming up. And I got contacted by Stan Levy, great guy, very interested in helping me out and kind of guiding my path. And so I did, the first camp was the 3-day camp, and I found out that I was right. I had mad skills, and I did very well. And as a server, I did surprisingly well, and it all took off from there. Using the techniques that WAN Professionals taught me, I had a job offer in about 2.5 weeks. I'm now going to be working with U.S. Bank. It's kind of a family tree. I'm working for a contractor, Apex Solutions. They're being hired by CompuCom, which is doing the voice over IP migration for U.S. Bank nationally. Now, as a first gig or job in IT as a network engineer, a national implementation of a huge corporate banking system, coast to coast, over 100,000 end users, 3,500 plus sites. It's pretty good, and I only have up to go. So I'm looking at, I'd say, 80K plus overtime, and I've been told there's going to be a lot of overtime. So I'm looking forward to cashing those checks. The job starts in a couple days, and I'm making 400% more than I was as a server. And it was nice to tell my boss that I can no longer afford to work here. It's costing me money. And so that was a pleasure. Where I'm at today with my job on the U.S. Bank voice over IP migration is the fact that I've had my first day and it didn't go the way I planned at all. It went much better. I had a whiteboard session with doing a high-level 50,000 foot view of the architecture, how it's all working out, the different clusters, things like that. And I found out right away that they went, and then Pete, you're going to be on the provisioning team. And that would be 4 days a week, where the other one was 5. This is noon until 10, noon to midnight, which I like because it's kind of guaranteed overtime. I like getting paid hourly. That provisioning spot was supposed to take 2, 3, 4 weeks until I showed aptitude. And evidently, in the conversations I had with my technical leads, I showed aptitude. And so I was immediately put on the provisioning team. So it was a nice little bump up to the higher level of access and job responsibility. I'm feeling very, very excited. It's going to end up being more money because it's not more hourly. It's more money because it's more hours. And I'm very excited because I get to see my boys and my girlfriend and everybody 3 days straight instead of just a little bit at night and then a 2-day weekend and things like that. So I got 3 solid days with the family, and I'm able to get everybody up and ready for school, get my girlfriend up and ready for work, make sure that everybody's doing what they need to do, have a few hours break, take care of the house, do my husbandly type duties, and make sure that that's taken care of too, so I'm not slacking on that side. And so I'm very excited, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. With this contract, there really is no option for renewal because it's an engineering contract. And with engineering contracts, as soon as you build the network, the network admins take over, and that's a different job. So as soon as my contract's done, it's done. So I need to find another job. I am definitely going to come back to LAN WAN Professionals for another camp, get my kind of furthering education. And right now, I may even switch to, I'll get my CCIE written done with routing and switching and get that aspect, because I still prefer routing and switching, but VoIP is growing on me. And so I might think about getting my CCIE in VoIP. Then to have 2 CCIEs would be outstanding. LAN WAN Professional definitely helped me prepare for my job experience. I had some knowledge and training beforehand, and before that I wouldn't have been able to even come close to passing any of the tests, let alone doing as well as I did. But the hands-on experience that I was offered, the 4 days of intensive, and when I say intensive, it is intense, fast-paced, 7 a.m. until 11 o'clock at night. And just the different aspects. I was able to practice my security. I was able to practice my firewall, my admin, my monitoring tools, doing some VoIP practice with Call Manager Express, things like that. So the biggest thing with LAN WAN was that they were there. They were willing to help out. They answered any questions. Their technicians and trainers are highly skilled, highly motivated, and willing to help you out, willing to break things down. What LAN WAN was able to do was help me understand what I was putting in, why I was putting it in, so that I could do it on my own. If you just give me the information, I can now put it where it needs to go because I know and understand the concepts behind it. Some major changes that have happened because of my new position is the fact that my girlfriend now doesn't have to work if she doesn't want to. We have some bills that we're paying off, some credit card debt that we're getting out of, and we're looking at moving to help decrease the size of the mortgage. And because of this job, and I credit myself and LAN WAN for helping me get this job because of the skills that I got with them into actually getting this job. And to have a 400% pay increase was really outstanding. This job has afforded us the ability to take the focus off the bank account and put it on the school, put it on the education for the kids, to put it on taking trips, to be able to take time off, to be able to bring mom home so that she can be a stay-at-home mom if she wants to. That will happen as soon as all our debt's taken care of, because I'm going to be able to use my income to pay for everything and use my girlfriend's income to take care of the debt. Do I feel that LAN WAN Professional was the right choice for me? Hands down, definitely yes. So much so that I am going to go back again for a third camp and continue the education process, continue the validation process, continue the learning process to get better jobs. 80, 100 grand a year right now for me is great. It's an awesome first gig. If anybody had told me that I actually would achieve the $80,000 a year job as my first entry-level position in IT, I would have said, okay, how? Because what a lot of people don't know is that I decided to become a network engineer in July. It has been 10 months, and I received a job for $38.50 an hour, $80,080 a year, at 40 hours a week as my first job in 9.5 months. I think that's pretty good, and LAN WAN Professional was a big part of that, and I don't think that I would be here right now in this position at this time without LAN WAN.